Are you ready for a relationship, or do you need more time to heal and work on yourself? Now, I ask this because getting into a relationship in an unhealed state will only mean heartbreak and repeating cycles. See, healing isn't just about knowing how to avoid toxic relationships. Healing is also about making sure you don't block the healthy love that you do really want. And we block healthy love when we haven't fully healed. And I know this firsthand because there were some deeply hidden wounds that were blocking me from the love that I really wanted. And the crazy part was I didn't even realize it. I wasn't even aware. So today I am breaking down from personal experience the 7 hidden signs that you might need to heal before stepping into your next relationship. But listen, these aren't the most obvious signs. These are hidden patterns that might be keeping you stuck without even realizing it. Because let's be real, hiding stuff, especially from ourselves, that may be painful to deal with is a real thing. But until we address and heal certain aspects of ourselves, that safe, secure, soul-nourishing love that we really desire will remain something we only dream about. So if you want to turn that dream into a reality, we have to look at certain signs that may indicate we need more time to heal before our next relationship. So let's get into it. Now, the first sign that you may need more time to heal is if you feel bored with healthy relationships. So if you meet a man and he is kind and consistent and emotionally available, but you feel uninterested and unexcited, that's a sign of unhealed trauma and that your nervous system just might be addicted to chaos. Listen, bad boys are real cute and they may be very sexy, but they are not safe to love. And if in your past relationships you experienced a lot of highs and lows from these bad boys, safe may not feel real to you. Maybe love in your experience feels normal when it's dramatic and painful because that is how love has been normalized for you. So if you mistake peace for boredom, or if you crave the chase instead of stability, or you push away healthy love because it's unfamiliar, you need more time to heal before your next relationship. This will help you reprogram your mind to see calm, steady love as exciting instead of boring. Now, another sign that you may need more time to heal is if you struggle to receive. So if you get uncomfortable when someone is genuinely trying to help you, whether it's a man or a friend or even a stranger, it may be a sign that you've been in survival mode for way too long. And this was a huge one for me. See, after transitioning careers from full-time ministry to running a nonprofit for women and becoming a life coach, I was in survival mode for about 10 years trying to figure things out. And I would let men do things like take me to dinner, but when it came to help I really needed, I didn't ask. And in my last relationship, help wasn't even offered. So I struggled for a long time in survival mode trying to figure out my next steps. But let me tell you, survival mode is the worst place to be for a woman who desires a healthy, loving relationship. So here are a few questions to ask yourself to see if you too struggle to receive, because it may just be an indication that you need more time to heal out of survival mode before your next relationship. So ask yourself, do you automatically say, I got it, even when you're struggling? Do you refuse a man's help because you don't want him to think that you're too much or too needy if you allow him to do something for you? Do you feel guilty or weak for needing support? Do you think accepting help means that you owe someone something? Listen, I want you to ask yourself these questions and don't feel bad about your answers, because the truth is, this is some deep-rooted stuff. And it usually comes from childhood or past relationships where you had to do everything for yourself. But remember, love is about giving and receiving. And if you can't receive in small ways, you will struggle to receive emotionally in relationships. And part of a man's DNA, I'm talking about a good, healthy, masculine man, his DNA is to give to his woman. So healing and being able to receive is what you must do before your next relationship. And here's a little tip, a little small tip to help you start that process. Simply practice saying yes and thank you more often when people offer to help, and release every feeling of guilt when you do. Now, this next sign might not sound like it's true, but if you judge other women for their relationships, it too is a sign that you may need more time to heal. So if you criticize or look down on women who are in happy, loving relationships, whether it's online or in your circle, you may be projecting your own wounds. Listen, I know the internet is full of people faking happiness, but there are some really happy people in fulfilling relationships out here. And sometimes when we haven't healed ourselves, seeing others in love triggers our own unprocessed pain. So you have to address and heal the part of you that feels like love is unavailable or unattainable for you. So if you look at other women in happy, fulfilling relationships and you think to yourself, she must be settling, or ain't no way he's really that good to her, or she's just faking for Instagram, you may have unprocessed pain, and here's how to start healing from it. Instead of giving other women in happy relationships the side eye, say to yourself, if it's possible for her, it is possible for me too. When you can see other women's happiness as evidence and proof that love is possible, you can begin attracting it to your own life. Now, another huge but not too obvious sign that you may need time to heal is if you struggle to make decisions. Listen, if making decisions, big or small, feels overwhelming, it might be a sign that you don't trust yourself. And honey, listen, without self-trust, you will lose yourself in every relationship that you enter. See, when we have unhealed experiences, especially from relationships where your boundaries were ignored or your feelings were dismissed, it can make you second guess yourself all the time. And when you don't trust yourself, it means you don't know when a situation is healthy for you or unhealthy for you. It may also mean you stay in toxic situations way too long, or you leave healthy situations way too soon because you don't trust your internal wisdom, which is your intuition. So here are some signs that you struggle to make decisions. If you constantly ask others what they think instead of tuning into your own intuition, if you overanalyze every decision out of fear of making the wrong choice, or if you feel paralyzed when thinking about your future. And to heal out of this, what I want you to do is start making small, low-stake decisions and work your way up. Listen, trust yourself with the little things and it will get easier with the big ones. And also, don't be afraid to make the wrong decision. Even a wrong decision can work out for your good, so says the Bible. Because even if you don't get the results that you wanted, you learn from the experience. Now, another sure sign that you may need more time to heal before your next relationship is if you feel behind in life. If you're constantly thinking, I should be married by now, or I'm running out of time, that is a sign of unhealed pressure. Listen, society, family, religion, and even past relationships can make us feel like love has a deadline, but it doesn't. So many people find love late in life, and it's the most beautiful love because often it's two people coming together who've done the inner work to heal, just like you're doing right now. So remember this. When you rush, you settle. And when you settle, you suffer. Period. Point blank. Now, here's what I want you to remember. Love isn't a race. Marriage isn't a prize. And your timeline is unique, and divine alignment is always better than forced timing. So here's a healing tip. Shift your focus from when will I find love to how can I enjoy and nurture the love I have within myself already. Now, before I give you the last two, I created a video called Don't Let Him Love You on the Low. And it has some other healing and relationship tips that I highly recommend. Now, back to the last two signs that you may need more time to heal before your next relationship. And one is if you put men on a pedestal too quickly. Lord knows I've done this. Listen, men don't belong on a pedestal at all, but I get it. When we meet a man who checks our boxes, we get excited. But if you find yourself romanticizing him before you truly know him, if you've already given him the keys to your heart when you haven't even properly vetted him, it will come back to bite you in the butt. Trust me, I've gotten excited about a man before I really knew him, and it didn't turn out well. And we tend to do this when we crave validation so badly that we project our fantasies onto these men instead of seeing them for who they actually are. And here are some signs to look for. So if you meet a guy and immediately start imagining a whole future together, if you ignore his flaws because you want to believe he's the one, and if you feel like you need to win him over instead of seeing him for who he actually is or seeing if he's actually good for you, you have put him on a pedestal. But here's how you yank him down and start to heal. Slow down, observe, and ask yourself, do I like him for who he is, or do I just like the idea of him? These questions will help you decenter any man in your life and reposition you on the pedestal right where you belong. Now, another sign that you may need more time to heal before your next relationship, which is really close to the last sign that I just gave you, is if you focus more on whether he likes you and not whether you like him. So if you spend the early stages of dating obsessing over whether he is into you instead of checking in on your own feelings, that's a sure sign of some unhealed wounds. And here are a few more. If you catch yourself analyzing his texts and reading into his responses and adjusting your behavior to make sure you are more desirable to him. If you say yes to men because they like you, even if you're not 100% sure that you like them back. And if you find yourself performing instead of just being, which is the feminine way, these are all signs that your focus is on whether he likes you, not on whether you like him. And this comes from a place of believing that a man's approval is what makes you worthy. But listen here, honey, let's be clear. You are the prize, and you should be the one deciding if he meets your standard. So here's a healing tip. The next time you're entertaining a man, ask yourself, do I actually like him? Do I feel safe and valued in his presence? And does he align with my vision for love? Trust me, you will be so glad that you asked these questions because they shift the focus back to you, your standards, and your energy. And this is how you attract the right kind of love. Now, what I've realized on my healing journey is that healing isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming aware. And when you've become aware and you recognize hidden signs and patterns in your life, you can start shifting your energy and preparing yourself for a love that is actually truly healthy, aligned, and fulfilling. Now below, I want you to tell me which one of these signs hit home for you so we can talk about it in the comments. Now, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you are on this healing journey with me and awakening to the best version of yourself. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.